Hello, and thank you so much for joining me here on my channel. I'm going to be doing the Capricorn energy reading. As always, take what resonates, leave what does not. I hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving. I actually ended up getting sick, but that was okay. I still had a wonderful day. So I'm still getting over some of my cold. The weather here has definitely been cold, but it's kind of felt good. All right, so let's... We just have the cards that are wanting to pop out. I also wanted to say, make sure that you check out the Otter Spirit for these beautiful bracelets, especially with the holidays coming up, or getting yourself a special gift for you. Or if you are looking for some beautiful flowers, I have my Rose Forever and my beautiful hydrangeas. You will definitely not be disappointed. These are amazing. I've had these probably for about 3 or 4 years, and they still look gorgeous. So check out those links and those review videos down below if you are interested in any of those. All right, so we had some cards that just wanted, okay, that explains it. We have the Tower, okay, rebuilding, tearing down, especially with this being the end of the year. Maybe you feel like things are falling apart behind you and around you. And you know what? This is why I love this card, is because things are falling apart around you because it's time to rebuild in a different way. It's time to release the old. It's all about perspective, which I have said many times. It's about how you see it. If you feel that, oh my gosh, this bill came in or that bill came in, or this person broke up with me, or this person is getting in a fight with me, it's for you to look at and say, do I want to change those relationships? Do I want to change my relationship with money? Do I want to change my relationship with the people that I have around me? Do I need to reassess things? Okay. This is what this Tower means. Don't look at it. This is right before your awakening. Like everything falls away. Like this is like shedding that skin, shedding the old you. And that's why you feel like everything is crumbling around you. It's all about your perspective. And to be honest, it's about being thankful. Like, thank you so much for tearing away those things that don't work for me, or for me to open my eyes to see things or recognize things. So this is the energy that is around you. And it's all about your perspective, and you see it, how you see it. But I feel that, especially with this being the end of the year, I feel like this is perfect. And with Capricorn birthdays coming up, right, that we've got our birthdays and we have the new year, and it's like double positive energy for us, for things to be happening for us. The other card that wanted to come out, I love it, is the Queen of Swords. And I love this card in this deck because there is this beautiful peacock next to her, and she is about truth. She is about finding answers. She is about analyzing and looking at things, analyzing that, hey, this tower that is happening for me is a good thing, is a positive thing. It's all about your mindset, and what are you focusing on? Are you focusing on everything that's falling apart? Are you focusing on, hey, I can't wait to see what's coming in for me? It's your time to shine. That's why this stuff is falling away for you. This is why this tower is around you. It's your time to shine. You have to be in the frame of mind to be able to embrace these changes and to see these tower moments as things that are happening for you, not to you. And that's the most important thing. And that these tower moments are going to keep happening to you, happening for you, not to you. Sorry, wrong choice of words. These tower moments are going to keep happening for you so that you can get into this Queen of Swords energy. So I absolutely love that. It's like time to be in this Queen of Swords energy and say, okay, I'm ready to go into battle, right? She has her sword and she's like, I'm ready to go into battle. But it's not really a battle. It's a battle of pushing away the negative, and it's about embracing the positive and shining and focusing on all of the doors that are going to be opening up for you. And I love how she's like adorned with this beautiful headgear, this headdress, and these beautiful beads. Like, that really caught my eye, how they're hanging down. And she is going in just feeling powerful and feeling beautiful and feeling strong and feeling confident and standing up tall and saying, yes, I'm ready for this. So I feel like this is your opportunity to kind of see this tower moment as, okay, I'm ready to shed all of these old thoughts, all of these old ways, all of these old things that I felt that were holding me back. Let's grab some more cards here for you. See what else is going on here for Capricorn. Those two definitely wanted to come out. Then we have our King of Cups. And our King of Cups is about your emotions and your feelings. And I always feel that the King of Cups is somebody who he knows what he needs to focus his emotions and his feelings on. And he knows what he needs to let go. He doesn't bother wasting his time with unwanted emotions and feelings. And that may be some things that, you know, are falling away for you, are those emotions and those feelings about something, right? That negativity, that anxiety, that stress, that, right? That all of those negative things that you have, that anger, and letting that just fall away and focusing on those things that bring you the abundance with all of those fish there. Like fish can represent abundance, and that the abundance that you have, it's turning your attention from the lack to the abundance that you have. And if your mind goes to, well, I'm not abundant, like I don't have this luxury vehicle, and I don't live in a mansion, and I don't do it. Again, perspective. Being thankful and having gratitude for the things that you have around you. I just feel like that's, it's paying attention, right? Analyzing what it is that your mind is going to. If your mind says, well, I don't have this and I don't have that, then that's where you need to catch yourself. That's where you need to say, you know what? I do have a roof over my head. I do have food in the cupboard. I do have, you know, sheets on the bed. I do have laundry detergent. I have soap. I have face cloths, right? There's so many things that you can be grateful for. There is the beautiful sunshine. There's the trees. There's your building. It's a blade of grass, a leaf, like bugs, like just shift your mindset. And that is going to help you to start focusing on all of the abundance that you have in your life, right? With the fish here. Focusing on all of the abundance. Start looking for those things of the abundance that you do have, right? And those things that you say you don't have now, those things will come in for you in the future. But it's starting here with what you do have and being grateful for what it is that you do have, right? And getting yourself in that mindset of all of the things that you do have. Instead of focusing and working from a mind of lack, work from a mind of abundance. We have the Six of Swords. So yes, doing this is something that you're going to feel like it's going to be like 2 steps forward and 1 step back. But it's forward movement to calmer waters and feeling that calmness within yourself. But there's still going to be those swords that are going to be sticking up. There's still going to be those challenges that are going to come. Because it's still going to be your mind wanting to say, well, no, let's focus on all the lack. Let's focus on what we don't have. Let's focus on how we don't want to shine. Let's focus on what we don't have in our lives, right? It's what you're thinking, right? It's what you're thinking, and it's the emotions that are tied to what it is that you're thinking. If you think something happy and positive and abundance, that feeling that you have, that giddiness and that excitement that you have inside of yourself. If you think of lack, well, I don't have this and I don't have that, then that brings you down, because negativity is in a lower vibration and it's a heavier vibration. And even if you just say, okay, I don't have this and I don't have, like I can feel the heaviness and the weight coming down on me. But when I say, I do have this and I do have that, and I have all of these amazing things in my life and I have abundance, I can feel myself being lifted higher. And if you just say those things to yourself, either in your mind or out loud, you can feel the energy. That's why I call these energy readings, because it's all about your energy that you have. All of your thoughts are connected to an emotion, right? They give you, each thought that you have has an emotion to it. It has a feeling to it. You feel a certain way when you think a certain thought. And that's what you need to realize, is that when you have a thought of this tower and oh no, and what's going to happen, and everything's falling apart, and who am I going to break up with, and what thing is going to cut right, that starts to give you all of this, right? Your heart starts racing and you have all of this emotion and this feeling in it. But when you look at it as, I'm so excited, I'm finally getting rid of things, I'm letting go of things, I can focus on all of my positive, I'm opening up new doors. It's like, yes, excited, bring it on. I just feel like that is what brings into this, is like, it's feeling calmer and it's paying more attention of what you're focusing on, and that the old ways are going to try and pop up, and they're going to try to come through, and they're going to try and say, let's go back to the old way where you feel this heaviness, where you feel this sense of lack. I just looked up at my camera and it said 11:11. The numbers have been crazy, how numbers have been coming up for me. Like, I just feel like that, for me, that is a sign of alignment. Like, I am so into numbers right now. Like, numbers, like, are just showing up. I was watching a show yesterday, and the person was standing outside of a building, and for some reason there was a number of the building, and it was 411. And I was like, what? And I love it. So I feel like, and this is just my opinion, I feel that when you start to have alignment, that you start to see those signs and those confirmations that are helping you, but you have to have that feeling of alignment within yourself. But I do feel that we have these little nudges and these little things that happen for us to say, yes, like you're good, you're on the right track, like you're doing a good job. And for me, I feel like when I'll catch numbers like that, for me, I feel that is a confirmation. Don't search for the numbers. Like, don't be looking for the signs, because you don't want to chase those things. It's just something that happens naturally, whatever your signs may be. For some people, it may be feathers. For some people, it may be pennies on the ground. For some people, it may be other things that are going on that are this repeating energy. And when that happens, you just like have this smile, and again, that brings in positive energy for you. So that is just something that I felt I needed to mention. And again, on that path to calmness, and that there will be times when things come up, like with those swords coming up, but it's learning how to navigate that, right? Because that's what this boat is doing. It's learning how to navigate around those challenges. Whoops, around those swords. It went flying. How to navigate those things in a positive, calm manner, in a calm way, instead of getting yourself worked up about them. All right, worked up. Talk about worked up. We have the 3 of Pentacles, and that is working on this, working on these things, working on, and I feel like one more to close it out. When you're learning a new way to do things, it's like you have to work on it. You have to be aware of it. You have to be cognizant of how many negative thoughts that you're having, and what are those emotions that are tied to those thoughts, and are those ones that you want to embrace, or are those ones that you have to navigate around? Okay, so it's working on those things. And then the last one that wanted to come out is, the 8 of Swords. So we have the Queen of Swords, the 6 of Swords, and we have the 8 of Swords. And the 8 of Swords is that you've built these walls up around yourself, and you've done it to protect yourself. But in reality, it's time to take some of those down to free yourself. There are boundaries that we need to set with people or situations so that what we choose does not affect us in a negative way. And we all have our own boundaries that we need to set for us personally. Just because somebody else sets boundaries for something doesn't mean that you have to do that. You have to look within yourself and say, what are these boundaries that I need to set? For me, one of my boundaries is I don't watch or listen or read the news. I have always found that every time I've needed to know something, it will show up in my feed somehow. Like I have positive things in my Facebook feed, but then something may show up there, or something may show up on YouTube, or that somebody may mention something, and I feel that's how I choose not to put myself and to be in that energy of listening to the news. I used to all the time. I used to read the paper every single morning, and I used to watch the news every single night, multiple times, and I found that it made me feel very heavy. And I'm like, how this does not help my inner being and my inner happiness and that's what I choose. Just like I said, is that we each have to choose what works for us. I am more aware of the things that I choose to let in and to affect me. And like, we have to set those boundaries for us personally. There are, one of my friends, I've had a few friends where it's just news is on constantly, and they're addicted to the news, and it's always about the news, and that's their choice, and that's completely fine. We have to choose what is best for us, but I choose not to let that. I have set that boundary, and I've done that for years, and I have had people that are close to me that try to make me feel bad for that, and I just say I choose not to be in that negative energy. I choose not that, and don't put your views on me. You can choose to watch news 24/7 if you want. That's completely fine. You can choose what you want to do, but I am choosing for me that this is what works for me, and I need you to understand that. And I feel like this is you not putting up walls around yourself, but breaking down those walls, but choosing to say, okay, I need to set boundaries for myself. I need to set healthy boundaries with. And another thing that I have said many times is the influence of social media. And is I'm more aware of that. Like, I'm backing away from that. And like the things that I have, when I do go on it, it's positive messages, or it's beautiful images, or it's things about Christmas or holidays or flowers or fashion, or it's those kind of things. So I've switched that, but I've also decided to not, always going to that, like kind to break myself away from that. I do listen to YouTube. I do enjoy that and I listen to those videos that I feel drawn to, that I feel give me information that I can learn from, that I can get confirmation from, that I can also hear. Because there was someone else that I was listening to yesterday, and he had said how he didn't listen to the news. I can't remember who he was, but he has like 3.5 million followers or something. And he was saying that he doesn't listen to the news because he chooses not to have that negative energy come in for him, and he always finds ways through either other people that if he needs to know something, he will find out about it. And I was like, wow, that's so cool. Like, that's exactly the way that I feel, and it's cool to know that there's other people like that. So it's choosing wisely where you need to set those boundaries, looking within yourself and saying, what are the boundaries that I need to set myself up for to keep a healthy, positive energy going around me, right? What do you need to work on? So again, this card came out right after this one, is what is it that you need to work on to set up those boundaries, but to not set up those walls, to be able to let down those walls and say, I feel safe because I've set up these boundaries to say, I'm knowing that as for an example, that I'm not going to watch the news or listen to the news because I know that it makes me feel sad, it makes me feel depressed, it makes me feel frustrated that I can't fix everything, that I can't do everything, that people are suffering, that it's knowing that, okay, that doesn't make me feel good, so I'm going to set those boundaries, and so I feel free that I don't have to worry about that negative energy coming in for me, right? So you need to work on setting up those boundaries and taking down those walls to free yourself, right? To bring more happy and positive energy into your life. What brings lightness, right? To bring those things that you think about, that they bring in positive and good emotion, right? That connection that you have between what you think and what you feel is a positive one, right? That you are subjecting yourself to, that you are, because I'm reading the book, is it The Perfect Secret? Why can I not remember these things? I'm going to have a link down below. So I'm reading that book. I chose last night to not watch any TV, and I chose to sit and read a book on my phone. And it was so cool. So I'm trying to change my habits of how I spend my time. So, and in the book, Rhonda Barnes said that we make around 35,000 decisions and choices a day. 35,000. That's a lot. That's a lot of choices and decisions. And it's like, what are those choices and decisions that we need to start making that are bringing us in positive energy and positive connection? That's a lot of things that we are choosing to do. I mean, if you just think about it, right? You think about how you want to spend your day. Like, if you really think about it, like, yeah, like that makes sense. And if anything, I would think we would make more choices and decisions, especially if your mind is as busy as mine is. But I do feel that my mind is starting to calm down. So it's about making those choices and decisions healthier ones for ourselves, yourself, to be able to set yourself free. Okay? That's a lot of decisions, a lot of choices. So let's grab a animal oracle. We have Eagle Spirit. Spirit has your back. And I feel like that's what I was saying earlier about when I saw the number 1111, and I feel like that represents signs that are around you, to not look for those, but they'll just pop up when you're in the state of making good choices for yourself, right? That your thoughts bring in positive reactions. I feel that the signs are going to start coming in for you, like the confirmations are going to start coming in for you. Don't do something for the confirmation. Do it because that's what you're trying to free yourself from something. Don't like work on those things where it's just, okay, I'm doing my work, I'm not doing it for a result. So one example that I have is that I always, when I tip someone, I'm extremely generous. And I do that because that's what makes me feel good. I don't do it to make myself feel good, but that's just naturally something that I do. And when I was working at the hair salon, I was a receptionist and I was doing the laundry, and I would find money in the capes because I would wash them, and I'd find money in the wash machine. And one time, like, there's been a few times, like I found a $20 bill and I was really excited. And I went and I got my nails done and I got a pedicure, and I was so excited because I'm so excited to pass this $20 bill on. And I was so excited to give the $20 bill to the person as gratuity. And they looked at me and they're like, well, do you want change? And I'm like, no. And I'm like, that's yours. Like, you could have that. And that person's eyes were like bugging, and they were so excited. And it made me feel so good. But then something happened after that to where I got that money back and more. But I didn't do it to get the money back and more. I did it because it made me feel good inside, and I love sharing and I love giving. So I told my sister that. And then we were talking the other day, and she's like, my sister's likes to make donations to local charities, like especially like the animal service, like the local shelters. And so she'll collect blankets, and she'll do those kind of things, and she brings those. She buys dog food for Christmas this year. Instead of getting people presents, like, she's making donations to the local shelters. And then so she had been trying to give, which we were talking about it yesterday, is that she was trying to give more of a tip, but she's like, well, I didn't get it back. And I said, you can't go into it expecting it to get it back. I said, I don't go into it expecting to get back. I said, it just so happens that I will get it back and more. And I said, it just happens that way. And I said, you have the feeling in you that when you do this, that you're going to get it back. And I said, that's why it doesn't work for you. But for her, when she donated, made a donation, something good happened to her when she was trying to, she was purchasing something from Poshmark, and the person ended up sending her like an extra gift and all of these extra things. And my sister was like, wow. She's like, well, maybe that was because I gave to the animal shelter, but this is how it came back to me. And I said, yeah. I said, because you were giving without expectations to the animal shelter. You weren't expecting to get something back from the universe. You were doing it because you love and because you care and because that makes you feel good. And that's why you got that back. And so I feel that for you too, is that don't do things to expect something in return. Do it from this feeling within yourself that it makes you feel good, that it makes you feel happy, that it gives you just this good feeling and this good sense of energy and a place of pureness. Maybe that's what I'm trying to say, is doing it from a place of pureness. And when you do it from that place of pureness, that's when it comes back. That's just my personal feeling. That's just my experiences. And that's just my view. Again, take what resonates and leave what does not. So just a little story there for you. All right, so let's grab a Star Dragons here. We have grief, accepting loss. It's very important, like I was going back to this tower, is that when things start to break away and things start to shed, and if people move away or situations move away or things happen for you, is to accept that loss and it's to welcome it and to process it and to feel it, but not immerse yourself in it, but to see that it's around you, that yes, I'm feeling grief, or I'm feeling, right? So that you don't repress it, and so that you don't stuff it down, so that it lingers inside of you. It's accepting that, okay, this has happened, accept those feelings, accept those emotions, and process that. And then for me lately, it's just been kind of seeing that emotion just break into smaller particles and move away from me. And that's what's really helped me. That if I have a feeling of stress, or I have a feeling of anxiety, or my mind starts to go to, okay, it's trying to work me up and make me feel anxiety, is I embrace that feeling, and then I feel it, and I see it, and I acknowledge it. I don't immerse myself in it, but I know that it's around me. And then I look around myself as this outside, looking in and seeing that this is surrounding me, and then I see it slowly breaking away, and I'm just kind of in that moment until it breaks away. And that's one of the things that Rhonda Barnes talks about in that book, as about acceptance of those things, and that really made sense for me. So it's not about, I used to have this mental chest in my mind where I would just put all of these things, right? Put all of this negativity, put all of these things I don't want to deal with, and I would fill that up until it got to the point where literally the lid was, I could see in my mind the lid was popping open, and that it was just spilling out. And so that's when I ended up going to therapy, because I was like, I have to deal with this. I have to find a way to deal with this. And so I ended up going to therapy for many years, which was extremely helpful for me and helped me a lot, definitely on my journey, and just helped me so much to process those things. And then I stopped that. Haven't been in therapy for a long time, but I am working on those things and realizing that I have to process those things. And and I feel like that's kind of something for you is to accept. With this tower here, is to accept that and to process it. Don't try and hide from it or stuff it down or ignore it. And it's being able to acknowledge it and acknowledging it in a way that works for you. And for me, it was, it's like seeing it around me, but then being able to let go of it. All right, so let's grab these two cards here. We have blessed and we have the fates. So again, focusing on all of those, feeling blessed that this tower moment is coming in for you. Feeling blessed that this is happening for you and that you are exactly where you are supposed to be. I was doing some daily tarot messages, and the fates has been coming up a lot. And it's like you are exactly where you're supposed to be. And to give yourself that relief and say, you know what, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. I'm exactly where I need to be. And to focus on all of those things that you are blessed with. See, and that's what I was talking about earlier, is focusing on all of those things that you feel that you are blessed with, that you have in your life, not thinking from a space of lack, but thinking from a space of abundance. And calmness, right? Feeling more calm from a space of positivity with that grief there. Being able to acknowledge that and release that and let that go. Let's grab one more. Psychic Tarot. I guess these two wanted to come out, so. Number one, base chakra. Base chakra. It all starts with your base chakra, how you feel. The tower is about, I feel the tower represents your base chakra. The tower represents how you feel within yourself and whether or not you can handle situations. And if you feel that comfort within yourself is that I can handle anything. So working on your base chakra, your root chakra. So feeling that you are on a sturdy foundation. So I feel like that's why these things are falling away, is for you to build your base chakra even stronger. And then we have number two is progression. So that word came through, so I'm going to say with that, but it's your intuition. And number two is the High Priestess. And it's about reflecting back on you, opening doors. That's what I was talking about earlier, opening doors. Looking within yourself, reflecting back on you, on what your feelings are. I just looked up and it said 3333. I'm telling you, it's funny. It's pretty cool, actually. It's pretty amazing, and I love it. The most important thing that I can tell you is to go at your pace. Do what works for you. Take the information from people that you are hearing, from people that are being suggested to you, and listen to them and take the information or follow the people. Go on your own path. Don't feel that you have to follow one set of rules one particular way. Don't feel that you have to do that, okay? Feel that you are following your own intuition and what you feel guided to feel within yourself and what you feel you need to do within yourself, okay? Don't let other people's rules, don't let those things come in, because then you start putting up those walls again with that Eight of Swords. And then you start shutting down and you start to become small. So what you want to do is you want to become big. You want to become the power that you are and powerful how you are, and listen to your intuition and say, okay, I'm going to take this piece of information from that, and I'm going to take this piece of information from this person, and I really feel I resonate with this person or what this person is saying, and this is what I feel I need to do for me. Just like when I was saying that I embrace the negative energy and I see it just kind of breaking down into smaller particles and moving away from me. And like, that's what works for me, but you have to do the imagery or what works for you, and to listen to that intuition and to not feel guilty. Well, it's not like so-and-so, or it's not like so-and-so, right? So-and-so says you have to do it that way. No, never feel that constraint. You do it the way that you feel. We're all individuals and we're all on our own path, and we're all doing things in our own way. And so that we all can have this awakening of our own power and our own beauty and our own grace and our own world. And it's doing what you feel is right for you, and not making any excuses or feeling guilty about things, doing it on your own path. And a lot of times, like, if you feel that you need to keep it to yourself, then keep it to yourself, because you don't want to talk about these things with people that you feel are going to test you or pressure you or push you to conform to the way that they see you, or that the way that they feel things have to be. It's surrounding yourself with people who have that acceptance, and to choose, again, set boundaries, right? Like I was saying, looking within yourself and saying, who are you choosing to tell this information to, or just keeping it to yourself, right? And just basking in that and feeling happy and feeling good about that, if that's what works for you. It's all about what works for you, right? There are no rules, there are no boundaries. You choose what is best for you, right? That you choose what is best for you. All right, I could go on forever about this because I love it and I'm so excited about it. So I am excited about this for you. You are blessed, okay? You are blessed, and you are exactly where you are supposed to be. Take this information and do what you feel is right for you with this information. And this may be something that you come back to later and be like, oh, I remember that reading or what she said, right? Do what you feel is right for you, but don't look at this tower moment, right? Being aware of your thoughts and your emotions with this tower, with what is going on around you right now, and being aware of those things, and being aware of, do I feel negativity suppressed and small, or do I feel positivity, enlightened and in control and powerful, right? What are those things? This is time for you to shed those things away and to embrace that. And we're always going to be navigating, but to set up those boundaries, work on setting up those boundaries that work best for you to have that stability in your life. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing day. I hope this has helped you in some way. As always, stay positive, stay safe, and I wish you the best in your journey.